They told you that freedom is your birthright, that your thoughts are your own, that the choices you make every day come from you. But what if the story you were given was never the truth? What if the reality you live, the beliefs you hold, the desires you pursue, even the doubts that haunt you are not truly yours but carefully planted? The Gnostics, ancient seekers of hidden wisdom, spoke of powerful beings called Archons, not fallen angels and demons we read about in the Bible, but something far more insidious. They warned of the illusions the Archons bring, so subtle, so seductive, that you rarely even notice the key that locks around you until it's too late. And here is something they have kept for thousands of years, a secret so carefully hidden that most will never find it. This prison has no bars, no walls, no lines. It is an invisible cave built within your own mind, using your own power against you. The very ability you were given to shape reality has been overturned, transformed into a mechanism that keeps you trapped. For thousands of years, humanity has walked within it, unconscious, believing we are free, while our own thoughts are frightened, redirected and fed. The Gnostics warned us about this. They hide these teachings in fragments, slaves and secret initiations, waiting for the day when human consciousness finally rises, when some begin to remember what has been forgotten. But you are here right now, watching this video. And that means you are not like the countless others still trapped in illusion. You are part of a growing network of awakened souls, seekers who feel the calm to know, to remember, to reclaim what has been taken from them. Prepare yourself, because once you learn what the Archons truly are, and the forces hidden behind your deception, you will never see reality the same way again, and soon you will discover the forgotten Gnostic method, designed to break your mind. You will see why most people remain trapped in cycles of fear, distraction, and forgetfulness. And because you were never meant to live this way, because once you understand how the Archons manipulate human perception, it won't just change the way you see your thoughts. It could change the way you see reality itself. Long before modern religions shaped the creation story, there were reflections of a deeper truth, a truth hidden, suppressed, and almost lost to time. Then in 1945, beneath the bosom of the Nag Hammadi Desert in Egypt, a farmer found a sealed cloth box. Inside he found scriptures hidden for over 2,600 years. Among them were the Gnostic Gothics, texts that paint a very different picture of reality and humanity's place within it. These scriptures revealed a hidden cosmic war, fought not with force or weapons, but with perception itself. A silent battle attempting to separate humanity from the source, to make us forget the divine mirror we carry within. According to the Gnostics, the physical world you see around you was not created by the ultimate source, the true divine. Instead, it was created by a lesser power, the demiurge, a creator of forces, a blind architect who believes himself to be God. The ancient Gnostics described a cosmic tragedy, one that began long before humanity's first breath. They said that Sophia, the embodiment of divine wisdom, acted without counsel, creating a flawed being, Yaldabaoth, a serpent-bodied being faced by a lion, with eyes that shone like light. In his ignorance, Yaldabaoth created 12 Archons, aligned with the zodiac, and 7 planetary governors linked to the walking stars. In addition to them, 365 Archons rule the days themselves, a great cosmic machine designed to keep humanity trapped in cycles of time, illusion and control. And these were not merely servants. They became your enforcers, the architects of deception, forming the prison you now live within. But who or what are these beings? The word Archon comes from the Greek archon, meaning governor or authority. But the Gnostics did not see them as kings or divine rulers, but as cosmic parasites, beings that exist only beyond the veil of human perception, feeding on distortion, confusion, and fear. And their influence runs deeper than most could imagine. They are the architects of distraction, the masters of manipulation. They cannot create, but they imitate. They cannot awaken, but they distort. For the Gnostics, these forces were not metaphorical. They were very real, and they understood something shocking. The Archons don't need to control the world around you if they can control the world within you. Every intrusive thought, every irrational fear, every false desire has spread throughout your consciousness. What if some of them were never yours? This knowledge was considered dangerous, even heretical by orthodox authorities. All the libraries were burned, the masters silenced, and yet fragments of these teachings survived, preserved within centuries of religious dogma and cultural conditioning. Why? Because to understand the Archons is to understand how reality itself has drifted away. It's important to understand that much of what we call normal, the endless struggle for status, the systems designed to keep us busy, distracted, and divided, may not actually be natural but rather engineered. The Gnostics believe that within each human being lies a divine mirror, a fragment of the true source, and that the Archons cannot touch it. But here lies the deception. If they can keep you asleep, endlessly chasing illusions, if they can make you forget who you are, if they can convince you that your thoughts are your own, then they don't need chains. Your mind becomes the prison. And that's why the Gnostics have hidden this knowledge for so long. Not to control you, but to set you free. Because they knew that if enough people remembered, the game would end. If the Gnostics were right, the Archons don't control you by force. They don't need weapons, they don't need traps. They control you through thought. And here's the unexpected truth. When a prison is invisible, prisoners rarely know they are imprisoned. The Archons understood something about the human mind thousands of years ago. Something that modern neuroscience is only beginning to confirm. Your perception shapes your reality. Change the lens and you change the world you see. So how do they hijack that lens? How do they insert their influence into your consciousness without you even realizing it? The Gnostics described it as a kind of psychic interference, an energetic distortion within the same field of consciousness. Imagine yourself in a large, silent library when suddenly an empty glow passes by your ear. At first you think it's your own thought, but it's not. That's how the Archons work. They mimic your inner voice. One moment, you're feeling detached. The next moment, a wave of self-doubt washes over you. You'll never make it. You're not good enough. There's no point in trying. Do these thoughts come from within you, or were they planted? This is where it gets deeper. The Archons operate through frequencies of fear, emotional cues that lower your vibration and make you easier to influence. Anger, shame, guilt, embarrassment. The more time you spend entangled in these states, the more open the doors you leave in your conscience. But it doesn't stop there. The Gnostics believe that the Archons also manipulate the collective mind, shaping cultures, systems, and beliefs so subtly that you think you are freely choosing, while walking exactly where they want you to go. Why do so many people endlessly hinder things that never bring fulfillment? Why do billions consume, compete, and compare, believing that happiness is out there? Always just a length, a reach, a distant relationship. What if this hunger is not natural but programmed? The Archons have learned that the most powerful way to control a species is simple. Keep them distracted. Distracted by endless noise. Distracted by manufactured conflicts. Distracted by desires that never end or are never fulfilled. Because if your attention is hidden, if you are always looking for the next thing, if you are tired, divided, and overstimulated, then you are easier to guide and easier to feed. That is why the Gnostics describe the Archons as energetic parasites. They don't just manipulate the mind, they expend energy. When you wallow in fear, shame, or anger, you're radiating the exact frequency they consume. And here's the trap within the trap. They want you to fight against the shadows, never questioning the prison itself. They want you to fight against politics, identities, possessions, race, anything that protects you from becoming useless and remembering who you truly are. Because the moment you remember, the game begins to break. Your conscience is the key they cannot touch. The divine mirror within you, that fragment of the source, is beyond your reach. But if they can convince you it's not there, you'll never use it. That's why the Archons don't just attack your thoughts. They attack your very sense of self. They keep you doubting, comparing, searching, always looking outward, never inward, where true divinity resides. The Gnostics knew that when humanity finally realizes its true power, the mirror struggles, and that is precisely what the Archons fear most. But knowing how they work is only the beginning. The real question is how you liberate yourself, how you reclaim your thoughts, your energy, and your sovereignty. For that, we have to delve deeper into the hidden mechanics of human consciousness and the methodology of ancient Gnostics, designed to rise above the reach of the Archons their total system of control, because once you see it, you can't ignore it. What if the influence of the Archons is deeper than just thoughts and emotions? What if they shape all of reality around you without you realizing it? Gnostics believe that the Archons operate not only within the human psyche, but within the fabric of time. They spin narratives, create false patterns, and keep humanity trapped in cycles of repetition, magnifying events that seem random but are carefully engineered. Have you ever noticed how history repeats itself? How all civilizations rise and fall, but the same mistakes, the same divisions, the same distractions keep returning, only wearing different masks? The Gnostics would say that this is not an accident, it's by design. Think about it. You are inside a cosmic labyrinth. The walls are invisible, but the paths you walk, the choices, the trends, the collective movements of humanity are subtly influenced. Every social change, every cultural obsession, every spiral of massive fear, all create emotional ripples. And these waves are energy that the Gnostics believe the Archons fuel. But here's the most distorted part. The Archons aren't satisfied with just shaping external events. They infiltrate spiritual teachings. For thousands of years, fragments of truth have been distorted, ancient texts rewritten, symbols inverted, and mystical practices co-opted and suppressed until only shadows remain. Why? Because the Archons understand something that most do not. The quickest way to keep you asleep is to give you the illusion that you are waking up. For every genuine teaching on awakening, there are countless diluted and corrupted versions. Spiritual fast food, entire movements built on half-truth, designed to guide seekers into deadly closed ruins. Follow this teacher, buy this ritual, manifest this desire, chant this mantra. But whatever it is, don't look inside. Don't connect directly with the divine mirror within you. That's the only thing they can't control. And so humanity remains busy, always looking outward, always chasing, always searching, but never turning inward. The Gnostics warned about this more than 1,500 years ago. In the Apocryphon of John, one of the texts discovered at Nag Hammadi, the Gnostics are described as masters of illusion, beings who create appearances to keep humanity in the dark. They spread illusions of separation, scarcity, and fear, knowing that as long as we believe we are powerful, we become powerful. And yet there is a paradox. The Gnostics cannot escape it. They can influence, but they cannot create. They can deceive, but they cannot create truth. All their power depends on your agreement, your unconscious consent to the stories you have been told. Break the narrative, and you begin to break the mirror. But this isn't just about personal freedom. It's bigger than that. Because when enough individuals see through the illusion, the collective timeline begins to shift. New possibilities emerge, hidden potentials appear. And that is what the Archons fear most. May humanity realize that it has the power to choose a different reality. Then, according to the Gnostics, the Archons double down. More noise, more division, more distraction to keep you busy fighting battles that don't matter. Because the more light floods the planet, the harder it is to fight to maintain control. Deep down, you always felt there was more. That there's a reason you never fit in with the stories you were told. That strange jolt inside you, the one that screams that something isn't right, is your signal. But knowing the game exists isn't enough. You need to understand how to get out of it. The Gnostics left behind a map, a forgotten method to reclaim your mind, protect your energy, and reconnect with the source the Archons cannot touch. And once you learn it, everything changes. Seeing the trap and understanding the game is only the beginning. To free yourself from the Archons, the Gnostics taught you must remember who you are and withdraw your energy from the illusions designed to keep you asleep. This is not about fighting them. It's about seeing them, because once you see the invisible prison bars, they immediately begin to dissolve. The Archons' greatest weapon is invisibility. Their cries become their thoughts. Their desires become their goals. But here lies the paradox. The moment you see the boss, you shame your own strength. Now stop for a moment. Take a breath, close your eyes, and simply notice the next idea that comes to mind. Don't judge, don't follow, just observe. Where did it come from? Did you create it? Or did it arrive innovated from somewhere else? This practice, which the Gnostics called gnosis, direct knowledge, is about stepping back from the noise and seeing the game being played within your own mind. Every time you perceive a false thought, you reclaim the energy that would have been gained. The Archons suffer in states of low frequency. Fear, shame, anger, and jealousy. These are the fuels of the invisible prison. To free yourself, you must feed them. When you feel hindered by fear or frustration, pause and return to the present moment. Place your hand on your heart and take 3 slow, deliberate breaths. With each breath, imagine returning your energy to yourself, cutting the cords that were draining it. The Gnostics believed that their energy was sacred. Every time you reclaim that energy, you change from being food for the Archons to becoming inhalable. Near you lies something they cannot reach, your divine spark, a fragment of the true source. The Archons cannot reach it, but they can distract you. To awaken this spark, the Gnostics practiced remembrance, an inner return to the source. For you, this can be as simple as pausing in silence each day and placing your awareness behind your thoughts. Not in the past, not in the future, but here, in this silence, illusions begin to dissolve and you reconnect with the part of yourself that has always been free. Here is the deepest secret. The Archons do not control reality. They control your attention. And where your attention goes, your reality flows. The real power lies within you. If they manage to keep you connected to chaos, negativity, and fear, you unconsciously choose your time. But the moment you consciously redirect your focus to what uplifts, nourishes, and awakens you, you begin to walk a completely different path. Every thought you choose, every belief you question, every moment of silence is an act of rebellion, a silent revolution. And perhaps that's why you're here now. Not by accident, not by coincidence. Something inside you is remembering, and when enough of us remember, the invisible prison begins to break. Hidden within slaves, symbols and cries, the Gnostics left warnings. The Archons don't rule you with chains. They rule you with forgetfulness, with the stories you were given, with the thoughts you never questioned. But today something has changed, because you saw the game. The invisible prison only works if you believe in it. And every time you return to your consciousness, every time you pause and question the voice in your head, every time you reclaim your energy of fear, chaos, and distraction, a bar of that prison dissolves. And perhaps that's why you found this video, not by chance, not by accident, because something deep within you, older than time, older than your name, older than this time, is waiting to be remembered. The Gnostics believed that when enough of the scattered awaken, the Archons lose their power, the false systems collapse, and the prison survives. And perhaps that's why you're here. Not just to learn these secrets, but to become living proof of them. So ask yourself, if every thought isn't truly yours, then who are you within the noise? Because once you begin to remember, once you move beyond the illusions, the real journey begins. If you want to continue discovering the secrets they never wanted you to see, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Because the deeper we go, the stranger the game becomes. And this is only the beginning.